Yeah, hello, fans. Welcome to the edition of BDTV Match Center. I'm sure you guys are excited. The Premier League has returned. The first week matches were played last weekend, and we saw a lot of upsets and prospects too. And with me here to talk more about the Premier League and what to expect is my regular host Ibrahim Abubakar.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and Iniobong. How are you?
Good to be here. Good afternoon.
Yeah, so let's go straight to action. The Premier League so far have spent over 2.3 billion in terms of recruiting players, and this tells you the clubs are not smiling. They mean business. The likes of Liverpool, the likes of Chelsea, the likes of Arsenal too. They spent so much money. United too have spent so much money. But let's look at their first game. First, I want to start with you, Iniobong. It was a very big one against Arsenal. I haven't spent over 200 million in the transfer market. Recruiting, well, people say good legs, fantastic legs. But you guys couldn't get past Arsenal.
Yes, I told you before we had the show last Friday. I told you that even though we had signed some very good players, Kuhn came in from Wolves, then Seko came in from Leipzig, and then who again? The guy that came in from Brentford. These are good players. They've proven over the last few seasons, we've seen what they can do. But I was not too happy because I felt that goalkeeper department, we need to reinforce that department. We need to bring in a good goalkeeper. Look at last season, Onana actually made some silly errors that cost us so many games. I thought we would have done better if we in that match against Arsenal. If we had somebody like can you imagine if you had somebody like Donnarumma, the PSG goalkeeper that is not having issues with the club? If you had him in goal against Arsenal, I don't think a top class goalkeeper will have been able to save that ball that Arsenal scored. I mean, do better in terms of maybe punching it. His positioning was wrong. So that came back to haunt us. I said it. I was not too happy with we brought in some players who were good, but that goalkeeper department, we needed another goalkeeper, and it came back to haunt us. And if Care don't take it this season, I'm a Man U fan. I can't like that anywhere I am. I'm a Man U fan, but then more realistically, Man U can't do well if you don't bring the goalkeeper this season.
Okay, fantastic. Ibrahim, Liverpool started on a winning note. People say they considered 2 goals, and again, City were classic, Tottenham were classic, Newcastle struggled, and Chelsea also struggled against Palace. With all the arrivals, with all the prospects, winning the Club World Cup, and were you surprised against Palace?
No. So there's no surprise there at all. If you look at the trajectory of Crystal Palace in their last 2 competitive games, they played against Liverpool and also against Manchester City. And guess what? They won the trophies involved in that particular occasion. They won the FA Cup, and they also beat Liverpool to the Community Shield. So coming into the first Premier League game and playing against the Chelsea side, first of all, it's a derby, and we have a Crystal Palace side who is also on form. So you can't take anything away from that team because they have the momentum, and you could see what has happened now coming into this week. One of their staff there is already leaving, and I feel this will be one of the issues they'll probably have going into the season. Chelsea playing against Crystal Palace is not, or getting a draw against Crystal Palace is not entirely bad. If you look at the momentum of Crystal Palace going into that game too. So you won't take anything away from that. It's a derby, and Crystal Palace has the momentum at the time.
Okay, straight. After the first week, one can be able to, like a pointer, Liverpool, working hard to, reclaim the Premier League trophy back. They had a nice, did a lot of exciting recruitment during the summer window that is still open. And if you check City too, they did their own during January, work of the players, and it's like the team is a bit stable.
Yeah.
It's a bit stable. And if you look at Arsenal too, they bought players too. Look at Chelsea. So if you have to look at it, the 4 big teams, the 5 big teams, do you expect the Premier League to follow the dynamics of what happened last season? Because last season, City almost collapsed last season. Chelsea at the point gassed out. Arsenal lost concentration. United were nowhere to be found. But looking at it's so much money that this club have spent in the summer transfer window, are we likely to see a very keenly contested Premier League title this season?
Yes, yes. I expect to see a very keenly contested Premier League season, but I would point it to like three teams, winning the FPL trophy: Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea. Because if you look at Manchester United, they are not there yet. They're still struggling defense-wise, and yes, they did some recruitment. The attack, yet, but we've not seen anything tangible from those guys. And we're already one game away out, and we have 35 to go, 37 thereabouts. So the issue I see for Manchester City is that they are still very young. Yes, they kind of stable, but if you watch the game against Wolves, the first 20-30 minutes was not theirs. They were looking shaky. It was like the unstable Manchester City we saw last season, but there they make something out of that match. Then if you look at Tottenham, they don't like trophies there. And even their manager
But they
mentioned,
want,
so the last manager that won them a trophy lost his job. The latest, their newest manager even mentioned something like that when they lost to PSG, and he mentioned that the last manager that won the trophy is no longer here. So I don't know what their motto is there. I don't know what their target is there, but trophy is literally not theirs when it comes to pushing for the EPL trophy. Then you bring it down to Arsenal. Arsenal has made a lot of recruitment. They brought in Eze, who is currently doing medicals. They brought in Madueke from Chelsea and Gyökeres from Sporting Lisbon. Gyökeres has played Coventry before. He has been in England before. Yes, he's not found his foot, but you realize you is the kind of player where you don't want to take anything off, and it's still very early. It's just trying to settle down into the Arsenal system. Then you also talk about Chelsea. These guys, they've played together for years now, and you saw the recruitment of Pedro, then Dela. The attacking force is done and dusted. Chelsea also has the issue of the goalkeeper department, but somehow Sanchez has been able to stay afloat. And the issue with Pedrovic, going to Bournemouth, wanted to be the first, the number one goalkeeper, and the manager saying, no, I cannot eat to that demand except you prove yourself. And Pedrovic has said, I've proven myself over time. I've gone on loan. I should be back here to be the number one goalkeeper. The other issues is now currently Bournemouth first goalkeeper. So I feel like Chelsea also need to do some sort of business in that goalkeeping department. Otherwise, they might have issues. But from there, from the defense to the midfield to the attack, loaded, star-studded team, young team, and they've played for 2-3 years. Then you take it to Liverpool. They won the EPL last season, and now they lost one of their key players, but they've also brought on 2-3 different players. Frimpong at the back. We have Wades.
Frimpong is injured now.
Attacking from the midfield. Then you have Ekitike, doing his thing. He scored 2-3 goals in the last 2-3 games for Liverpool. So he has started kicking the ball running and all of that. And so I feel like Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal should be gunning for the EPL.
Okay, Iniobong, he said, I remember last season we said it's a 2-horse race between Liverpool and Man City. But now he's saying it's a 3-horse race, and he has categorically ruled out United chances of even making top 4 or whatever, making top 5. So based on the recruitment these clubs have made, do you think the Premier League race compared to last season, narrative will change this season? Are you saying that it will look more tougher and not even like a 1-man race or 2-horse race or 3-horse race? Even the likes of, he's saying Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea. He has ruled out Arsenal chances of.
Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea.
Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea. So he has ruled out Man City. Okay, what do you have to say?
I think Man City will be in it. Guardiola have been last season. They were when they were so bad last season that they lose from towards the end, and before they later gained their strength. But I think it was the last 10 matches was 7 matches.
They did well.
I think they later came third last season.
Yes.
Arsenal was second, then they were third.
Yes.
You can never rule Guardiola out. And he signed his players very early. He brought in this guy from AC Milan. He was the best midfielder in Syria last season. The Holland guy, what's his name? Tijani. Last season, last weekend, he scored 2 goals and he provided an assist. He will be a key factor in Man City performance this season. Watch out for that guy. He brought him to replace the guy that's in Inter Milan and the former their former playmaker. What's his
De
name?
Bruyne.
De Bruyne.
Napoli, yeah.
So I think Man City has signed well. Don't forget the fact Guardiola is a master strategist. You can never rule him out. He will challenge for the title. For me, Liverpool has done a very good business. They brought in a striker. They lose 1 or 2. And they've recruited well. The guy from Bayern Munich is what I'm particularly excited about. The Frimpong, a very good player.
But he's injured.
He's injured.
Yes.
That's a massive blow. But so Chelsea have also done very well in the market. Nobody gave them a chance. They went to the Club World Cup. They won it. Yeah. And they brought in some very exciting young players at the attack. The defense-wise, they are complete. Kowe may be injured. But then they have a replacement. This guy from the Nigerian is there, Tosin and some other players. I think we will see a very for Tottenham is not also doing bad. They brought in the former Brentford coach last season, Frank, and they did well in their first match. They won 4-0. Although what we've seen about Tottenham over the last few years is that towards the end of the match or towards the end of the season or at the middle they seem to fizzle out. I hope it will not repeat itself this season. But they've also done some good business. Don't forget the fact that they won the UEFA Cup last season and they're in the Champions League. I think what we decide, the deciding factor is always at when you play too many games, 2-3 matches in a week, the Carling Cup will come in, the Champions League will come in, and the league. That is when key players start getting injured. So if you have a very good, if you have a good squad and a good first 11, a good bench also, that is where the deciding factor always come in. I mean, if you have a large squad, good bench, good first 11, because they're going to play so many matches. You don't get to play Champions League, play Carling Cup, play FA Cup. So these players will get injured. At the end of the day, it is who have a good bench. Yeah. I mean, that will back up a good backup that will come into
I want to
Liverpool.
I want to ask you, Nebo. I asked, are you seeing a 2-man horse race or 3-man horse race, or you feel that the 4 big teams has what it takes to continue?
I think the four big teams are in it. Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, and
Man City.
Man City are all in the title.
So there's no Manchester United or
so if what if this
Tottenham they tend to pretend, but I don't. They tend to pretend.
What if Isak finally joins Liverpool? Do you think the other teams will have what it takes?
That will make Liverpool more stronger. I personally don't want Isak to go to Liverpool. I mean, I don't want Isak to go to Liverpool, but the way it's going, it appears the guy is serious. But
so if he joins Liverpool now, so are you still looking at it to be like the 4 teams can contend? You just okay, maybe 60% Liverpool chances of defending their Premier League title.
No, this season I said it. I told Liverpool fans some days ago that last season when Slot came, nobody gave him a chance. Mm-hmm. This season, I think much attention will be paid to him, and especially when you are playing Liverpool, so managers will be they tend to reappraise their strategy against him, knowing what he did last season and knowing what he can do. I think the Slot will not find it easy this season compared to last season. I mean, in time when you're playing against your other teams in Premiership, you find it tough at this time around to win the league.
Okay.
But they are in it. They are the favourite, considering the kind of squad they have. And if they sign Isak again, to make them more stronger. So, I think Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, they are in it. For Man U and Tottenham, I see them outside maybe 5 and 6. Man U don't have, like you said, they brought in a very good 3 players. Kunha from Wolves, and then they are very good players. You saw the difference that Kunha made last season. That number 10. I mean, if not for I think that game would have gone anywhere. If not for that error that the goalkeeper made, at least even if that game would have ended a draw. But they are very good players. But the problem with Man U is that I personally don't have
confidence,
100% confidence on the coach. I don't think you probably understand what. Maybe we should give him time. Someone said we should give him time.
Yeah, you gave him last season. But give him this season.
Definitely, we need a good goalkeeper to take that team further. Without that, he may come back to haunt us.
Okay, Ibrahim, you mentioned Eze earlier. He's in his prime. We also his contribution, for Crystal Palace last season and towards the start of the season. Do you think Eze finally, it's almost done and dusted? Eze joining Arsenal. Do you think to boost their Premier League hopes? Because they have good players. So Eze now joining the attacking force will be like you can now say okay, Arsenal for now, confirm all those distractions. Normally Arsenal always have a way of getting distracted towards maybe by January, February, and you now see them
struggling.
So with Eze's arrival, what impact will you have on Arsenal?
Yeah, so it will have a very, very huge impact on Arsenal's season going into this season because before Eze, before some of the players they brought on, and you could see they've done second, I think for 3 consecutive seasons. And now you're bringing on Eze, who is probably who is in his prime, one who has the momentum coming in from Crystal Palace, winning 2 trophies back to back before joining Arsenal. Now the attacking force of Arsenal, you're having someone like Saka, Eze, Gyökeres, Juan Martinelli, or Madueke. This is a team or the attacking force that could go against any team in the world. You see Eze play beautiful football. He's not your usual goal scorer, but he scores wonderful goals. And this guy has been there, done that. He was in the Arsenal's academy, what we call Feeders team, before joining Crystal Palace Feeders team.
Yes.
Before rising to one of their top players. I think before this guy joined Bayern Munich, his former colleague at Crystal Palace, it was a formidable force. These two play beautiful football. And now you're seeing Eze coming to Arsenal, who has been second. So it shows that Arsenal are also taking this season seriously. You know, when I came in on and I said, Arsenal are going for the EPL. Before now, probably I said, okay, maybe second. But we could see the business they are doing. They are now bringing in the backups. They are bringing in first 11 and backups. This is what Pep's Manchester City had over so many of them in the last 5 seasons, down to last season. You could see when a player gets injured, there's an equivalent replacement coming on. And it's like this player has not even gotten injured, except for Rodri last season, and you could see the problem. And now Pep has done those business. You could see Tijani come on and he playing beautiful football. So I think that's the route Arsenal is also taking, is to make sure that they have the first 11, the starting 11, and also the backups, players who could come on, and it feels like the same quality that the Arsenal will bring on anytime, any day. So Arsenal bringing on Eze or bringing in Eze to the team is an addition, a quality addition, if I may add.
Okay, fantastic. Yes, quickly run through the fixtures. Tonight, West Ham lost to Sunderland. They're playing Chelsea. They are 2. Chelsea, didn't win against Crystal Palace. The 2 sides need this winning, but I think Chelsea need it more. Yeah. Well, football is not mathematics. Let me ask Iniobong, West Ham, Chelsea, what are the chances for Chelsea or West Ham?
I think West Ham lost their first match.
Yeah, to Sunderland. No, Sunderland.
Sunderland.
3-0.
West Ham have lost some players this season. They lost some very good players this season. But their recruitment have not been so. They lost Kudus to Tottenham. And I think they also lost... they've lost the former Ajax guy, the Mexican, to one club in Spain. They've not made some. They've made 1 or 2 signings, but probably not the kind of quality you would expect them to. I think they will sort of struggle this season. Chelsea they are full of stars, and they've signed some quality young players all around the field at the attack. We saw what they did at the Club World Cup. I think the pendulum is towards Chelsea winning that match, and I think Chelsea will probably win. Who is at home playing?
West Ham.
Chelsea has the momentum is on Chelsea. Chelsea is favorite to win the match.
Probably,
but it can go anyway. West Ham, particularly playing at home with the team, you cannot really rule out. And you have a very good manager.
They can be spoilers, have you?
A very good manager. He didn't do well at Chelsea, but he did well at Brighton.
Okay.
So, you want to give
for me, if you look at the statistics, Chelsea's last 11 games at West Ham has been ridiculous. Chelsea has only won 3. But the positive for Chelsea now is that Graham has not won against Chelsea before, and he's played over 7 games against Chelsea. So I'll tip Chelsea to win as a fan and also as a pundit.
Okay, City Tottenham for tomorrow at Etihad Stadium. People will say City, but again, looking at what City, their trajectory last season, the way they slumped. So you can't just say City now. You have to watch. Are you sure? And again, looking at Tottenham too, they are spoilers. So I want to ask you, City and Tottenham, City at home, or is it a draw?
I'll give it to Tottenham, because if you look at since Mourinho joined Tottenham and left, they've been having a good record against City, and this is when Pep has been at his prime at the club. So And the current manager of Tottenham is also very good. He has a very good record against Pep. So I'll give it to and band for band, quality for quality. Tottenham is also up there. And I'll give it to Tottenham.
City is at home.
Yes,
I don't think Tottenham will win that match. I think the worst you can see is a draw.
It's a draw.
City is a very good player. They're a complete side. I know people think because Guardiola is still the same Guardiola that won the league four times at the stretch.
So
no team in the Premiership was able
So
to.
there's this still Guardiola factor.
Guardiola factor is still there. The team, he has brought in some exciting players in that team. This guy Cheki from Lyon, and the guy from the Holland guy Tigani. I mean, they are still. There's one guy brought in.
Let's
before you go, Tottenham has beaten City at home before 4-0. That was just last season, 4-0.
Okay,
and that was the same Pep. So over the way against Tottenham, especially when it comes to City and Tottenham, there's no.
For me, I know Tottenham to be spoilers, and because of what happened to City last season, a lot of fans are beginning to like, man, we have to be careful, we have to watch it, and all of that. So let's move on straight to the next one. Arsenal, Leeds United. You want to say is Arsenal all the way, but again, Leeds too. You can't push them away. You can't.
Leeds are brought in on Okafor from
yes, and they won their first game against Everton.
Talking about similar. I know they're also talking about bringing on our own Victor.
So you feel Arsenal will win against Leeds? Walk over. How about you?
Of course, Arsenal should be able to get over Leeds.
Okay, there's a big one on I think Liverpool are playing.
The EPL is shaping up. If you ask me, if you also look at some of the businesses that they've done, something that is good for the business side. It's also good for the quality of the league. Over 2 billion is not a small feat.
£2 billion transfer.
Yeah, just on transfer.
The highest so far.
The highest so far. Premier League record.
You could see the quality of players. You could see that there's intentionality in the way they are spending their money and the way they are spending these funds to make sure that these guys come on from all over the world, from Netherlands, from Italy, Spain, just to make sure that.
Are you talking about those fixtures for tomorrow?
Okay, so lastly, let's look at Newcastle
Liverpool
for Monday.
Running. Okay, it's not running on TV.
So let's look at Newcastle Liverpool. I hope the fans will not fight because of the transfer saga.
Newcastle Liverpool
on Monday. On Monday.
That would be
so Isak Wala, and what if Isak finally make his move to Liverpool?
Newcastle said
whatever happens,
Newcastle said
it's going to be a firework.
They don't want to sell him. But
and he's saying he doesn't want to play for Newcastle anymore.
But he has a contract with them.
He has the contract. So
the thing is, you can feed him.
Even Lukman has gone back to training at Atlanta.
So you can field him, but my partner number giving you his best. So you don't want to have a situation where you have a player on the pitch.
Their first game, they felt the impact of Isak. So if Isak does not play, and I don't see him, he has not started training with the team. Yeah. So and you have a match.
He will not play.
So would that be an advantage for Liverpool?
I think
and Newcastle
brought in another striker. Apart from this,
they wanted to buy this Brentford striker, but the offer has been rejected.
Apart from bringing in the guy from Northampton, the former Man U player from Northampton, they've not brought another striker.
No. So they're using Gordon. And Gordon has been with them, I think, for a season or two. So I feel like Liverpool should be taking this because, at a stand, we have an issue with his own Newcastle because we saw what they did in their first game, a goalless draw against Aston Villa, and you could sense that this is not the Newcastle of last season. They are missing the Isak's factor. So and again, I don't feel like you want to force a player to come play.
But if you have a contract,
you have a contract to play. He might play, but will he be giving you his 100%?
People feel with time that he will get used to.
Last season, Newcastle did start very well. I think they gelled towards the middle of the I think they will finally bring in a strike kind of this. I think they're looking.
So not to forget that they also have the fund to bring in players. They can also spend the money.
Okay, guys. I know you guys are so passionate about the Premier League.
Yeah.
So as I do. I wanted us to add.
So for me, the league will also go down the wire, just like we had last season. It was decided on the last day. This season also, it will go down the wire.
I think that makes the quality on the high side where we're waiting to the last day to see who wins the EPL.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ibrahim. Thank you so much, Iniobong.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, hello, fans. When it comes to BD Man Center, you will never know 30 minutes just gone, 20 minutes just gone. We feel like talking more. Well, this is how far we can give you for this week. We hope you enjoyed today's edition. Please stay tuned next week for more. Thanks. Bye. My name is Anthony Nlebem.